Yo abusia ende menimu wo important nkomo bidi. Asema menimu beka nende one of the things are free makomem. Say ade a efa bibifo ho a meka akiro. Say ade ehia me pa nso so a meka akiro say ye downloads nso so a meka akiro. Ende episode ni one of the episodes a metimi aka say efri makomem like eye ade hu hia me pa. One of the things a me ankasa say yes bibia spirituality mi yi baako a enu na nka meyi na mafocus ewo so ade a me invest much time wo mu ade asua ho ade enti me ba be ka ho asem a kire wa hia asem obia sebe owo eba bi a sebe o ne ba no onye nipa ni so pepepe mu from special children obi a ne ba ni kasa delay obi a ne ba autistics obi a sebi tafrache odenya ne ye na ne bobre ni nisu asesa obi a oni obi wo ho na wate ahwe nsam na ontumi njai ensane num obi oni obi te no num drugs na oye hu bibia enye se ye wukunu se ye wunua se ye wo ba se ye wo yire ba bi a wo bia no me ma wo ya akọ na afi me ne wafa education kakra we mu na se ye hwe ho na se ho kwan da ho a na manfa ntwe ne sere ne abasa me ne mo afa kwan a wo befa so a wo fie a wo be solve kakran se obi num nsa ana se onum drugs na ne behavior sesa ye se waye high se osofo ejina pulpit so na obekasa na anointing fa no ye se osofo no waye high se akomsi obi so na se whatever bewura no na oye waye aggressive na waye hyperactive omo se waye high eno de ye boye nsam ni ade de ma omo but ye wo ba na se ye ba no behave the way a ye hu na eno ye nji ntum se ye ba na ye high. We don't want to admit say ye won krofo bi wa ya wo omo ye high dada but ye feel say bibi psychedelics ana bibi aheti obi ansa na wa ye high but akola ye wo no na naturally no otene third dimension ni mu no decide so on betna this third dimension ya obata ni go through a whole lot of things ye mmofra no niama bebre na ye huhu wo ye ni so eniama bebre ne ye tete wo ya sum ye papa ne ye maame no ekwan be na omode ye fa so omode ye ko asode akodo mo boy ye beyie obia wo experience you can write it in the comment section wo ya akola niama na wo ye ekwan na maame no papa ede wo fa so because of sa niama na wo ye na eburo omo adwene ne omonte ase so ana na conform with this place ya ye we no the way a omuhu ebi kura ma asofo bo nkola ne bi bayi o ye bayifo because of a die ni niama bi okeka sa niama we nyina wo ho sa niama ihu nkomo ene nne me pese me ne wo ye dai edi obako school ya kire na de a ohu sen na ya wo fa no wankasa eden na wo maame ne wo papa de ukom na wo nso so a wo hwe bi wo ba na wo ne wo fie den na wo di ni kom suban ben na wo hu wo abofra ne mu na sen na wo dwen ewa abofra no ho wodwen se watosi ewa abrabom watochema ne ho atochema na adwen ho atochema sese na wodwen a enkomo en na me pese me ni wo bedi no enu ne we are coming to talk about the disorderly gift enu na e topic a enne ye discuss ne but me ne wo be call 3 different stages mu the great illusion ye be hwe no ansa na afa ya about disorder or divine gift ye be hwe no so ne ye wi a ya ba be hwe consciousness disorder na ya ba be hwe we so nipa bebre hallucinate Africa Ghana how do we take mental illness seriously ye hwe ye ni wo ho efie ho enkrofo bebrebe se be kafra facha me ekoniamam omo feel say spirituality because ono onye na adwin se obe to the boase ama obi aboa no and these are things as a yamfa ya adwin ankoso ne ye makasa ne ye bebre a sebe ye be ha ye hu ekwan bi so ebi a sebe bibi anka ye betumi aye hu bibi no ye de ahye spirituality a ma sebe kafra chemo fa ncheme ade no enya asai The mind template is the sacred portal and the God portal of creation. Me pese obia etis ade we saying ase. The mind is where you can access everything you've ever heard and beyond. In this same mind, you have the key to creation. Sebe kafra monfancheme. Se obi sabio enya adwin mu yade a na obodama. Se nipa na onam ho no so hu se ka eba onkogina ka akwanim se ka ne mmono. Ohu se ka eba na eben na odwane se wo fa ade se wo de ebo na obe defend ne ho. Aden no ntumi nko ne fie. Aden na ne ho da so. Aden no yi ata oyi ade wo ball mu adi na omboda. Se ka bebo no no bedwane afi kwan ni mu na so obi bebo no so bebo ne bidia. And ye die be na asi ama ayete se sebe kafrache wa bodam sa na ye hu no. Se ye maame nom ne ye papa nom enyini ko omo ani ma medika aka akire ho. Yes yo wanya dementia because on kai hwe wa ha. We losing the memory on cash wa ha. In fact, onim obi ampo ono ane ba wa wo no kro betumi agina ne ho onim no nsem okeka nyina ye nsem a sebe wo hye na ento aso yes wanya dementia medical can we actually say it's actually not dementia but it's about dimensional enti se okasa asem na oka no enye ordinary for you enye ahasem for you to understand. Inti afe wahu sesa wo ba no no so wo na wa start kan sema ento wasumu a un conclude sesa be wo ba na bodam ana na adwene ho atochema eno so nkire se obia owo sa problem we no sebe obi ebi die wo mu enye yade. That's not what I'm even saying. Adwene no tumi ewo mu eni niama adwene no eye na metwe wadwen ade agina so Ubon say and then me kasa no eye boko because I'm talking about adea eda makoma pono so adea me ye wie a mani etumi ye den eje one me kasa sesi a wo hwe mi. What is in your mind? Ede be na wo wadwenim like as you are watching me right now. What is in your mind? The mind is the place where your divine eye resides. So biati ase yana enkrofo conclude the third eye. There is more to it than you know. A hodna divine eye no eti. So considering the huge capacity and work on the minds of people enkrofo adwene say ye papa say ye bo niam we bi mu adwene mu school fees rent nsem ne doso. How do we draw the line between the mind having its divine power and mind that is sick with hallucinations? How do you differentiate these two? Because say yanto ye boni yanhwe say niama we ya eno ne ye ma spirituality ye tan no obi wo ho a eye pure hallucination utumu say wakwan ne bibi a eni ho e de esi ho na opese enye saa che say enwo ho ebi to me hallucinate na ye omuso omo ehu bibi ebi so omo heavy. We hear a lot of things. How do you actually differentiate someone who is hallucinating and someone who is talking dimensional? How do you differentiate those two? How? Obe den when we say asumasi sabio or hallucinate and now we so or cancer and papa. How do you even know said there we kano eye nokore eye brosire maka ubeye den na ubehu ekrom hana yete no ye take mental illness serious. Say obi ya ade a sometimes to meet nature hwetim say ade nipa we yi no mentally onye stable and social or say a spirituality into a ban is you cannot help that person cause ono ankasa nje ntum say sabe owo problem na nkofo niama na nipa keka no so dooso inti or hallucinate kura eye ne say ye ka sese inti eye sa ene wo ho. When someone takes in weed and their mind templates are altered, we say they are high. When someone take lacquer, when someone take brown, when someone take coke, when someone take anything red, name them balloons, they are minimum mudi. Na omo echo off kakra from this place omo say incrofono omo aye high. Nti ye but ye ndintum say obi betimi aye high enye bibi na psychedelics bi ena eboa no. The other day I made a statement say when I talk about weed, the only problem is people don't have knowledge about it. Makacha say matina classroom 1 year esua about it. Into eduano from the root to the flower to whatever. I know how to handle it. But that's not what I'm talking about today. That's not what I mean. I'm not even promoting anything. But the point I'm trying to make is that when I mention weed, don't get offended. Mechira will say minim. Say yes, say nye. Minim. Nemo no. The ebema nipa kan wasem ye de awunim because unim pefe say ebinum anom adane something which is the eba ne say no mo yes is because of knowledge no mo nye den omo enim ewo ho eno ne ma omo ko wiewie sa no so obinum sa niama na yese waye high ye feel say obi betumi aye high ono mo hwe na. What if someone is naturally living in a hyper imaginative and super creative mind? What happened if say onipa bi wo kwa ono otesa se woni netia ubehu ne say oye normal and say oye abnormal? Is the person well or are they suffering from a disability? So wo ba no automatically no oswitch what that side wankasa ubehu ne say ubefre ne say de bia mekasa ade a ekum yen eye edin eniama ye tutu din eye programming kese e de ma adwene no me pese wote ase se obi wu na odahọ a ubo ni din a ontumi ntwa nani ba se din na nipa no wonkwa na ofre onam ho na ofre na nipa domumpo ofre na obetwa nani nti wo sha eye body no na gidin so ana so se eye spirit no e na gidin so ana eye soul no e na gidin so. Me pese obi a adwin sa de we say hu cause obi wu a wo frɛ na onje soda pacho yate ase wa ha no mu say enti niam din atoto me ka kire wanem wate ase say obi doctor asem o ka kire no e na aha na ma na wu because o kan say wenya yare we no pe na e register wa adwin na fe so ni star ana kra ni start say eje so. Enti eno ne be programme body ni nyina na wanhwe ni ya wo ho atompo a wadwene mu no ne maame we ana ne papa we kan ye no eno ene wo wadwene mu a hawo nti se wo ba no na enye obi no kan bibi a kire no no automatically no ono aye ne downloads no meet nipa nkola ne bi wo ho a sebe omo aye bibi a yen ye feel so mo problem ba oto a obehu so ne obi mu di agro obetumi ehu so ne ebi no mu di nkomo na osresere na ohu ebi no wu to wo hu hwe sen na ya ohu sa abofra no ya sa abofra no wankasa wo hwe na ohu ni sen ebitimi ye so aggressive na school kura ya pamo motumi jump free table so no aba beto form ebi create me di omuti bogbo ade mu ni ade sen na ohu sa abofra no ya eden na wo dwen because ekoba ni senya obi a person onya spiritual person or powerful obi a person onya asofo a or powerful osofo anointing ba ne so a ne kasa ne nante ni bibia sesa saa na wo komfo no so bibia ba ne so sesa but wo ba no e wo saa mood ni mu a san na ya wo feel ana because ono de ye ntete na kom embe kan kire wo so ye komfo sai niama we nenne no me pese ye dom suko na ye hwe the other day me ka kire wo say wo betumi anyini a chen wo ba eye wo honam but okra mu ni de untumi nka se o chen wo ba. In frequency there is nothing like child, there is nothing like a father or a mother. I'm doing this editorial for the sake of understanding special children. Enunti omunti na me yesa episode we psychological disorder and consciousness. I'm doing this about the amufre special children and psychological disorders and consciousness. Enunti na me yewe. I am not a psychologist or trained medical. Me any doctor. And for ye doctors who do bebre mu ya no yi. Me doctor. Not herbal doctor, not quack doctor, not nothing. Me doctor. I am a spiritual visionary. I deal with the unseen. I download and bring them to this 3D world so you are able to balance. I work on your aura and your chakras to be aligned so that whatever you are doing, you will understand that your body is just a container. Niyama bebrebe to me a channel through it. Inti me share wo body ne den. Na ma wo aura ne wo chakras no so aye align. Na bibi say be fa wo mu a wo wafa adekunu mu. Adekunu ntumi amfa wo mu anye den anse wo. I am a spiritual visionary, I have told you, and this video is for spiritual awareness and consciousness purposes. I am not a medical doctor. I will never be a medical doctor, a herbal doctor, a quack doctor, whatever. This is my mission, is to wake people and make sure people are in line and everything about them is aligned with the cosmic. I sit and talk to spirit beings. I don't talk to mortals. I go beyond mortals. And that's the conversation we are going to have today about the disorderly gift. Me man kran kra bi akwa ababiom at the time with Maame Grace Jumedie kesiye yi eso. Yo, abusia nanso so ye kwesi ada bio me man kran kra bi ache man kran kra bi aha man kran kra bi ajo baabi a wo bia ne time a abo wo honom no me de honom nchi a na ede brew. We are purely educational platform. I am the goddess of Akabulan. On this platform I am the prettiest preacher. Metna ha me ne wo chenimdie me ne wo ebinsem na last 2 weeks no nanka we ni ebeka na but not asem na ekọ na ano ayedinti na I had to add my voice to it since I am the voice of our ancestors. Intino me flip kakra na ma flip back to one of the most important topics aya me pese me treaty. Now mama of 4 stages ye be fem. Enti yenhwe the great illusion. Eniama nkrofo hu nyina no mepamocho eya omuhu through die ben. Die ben ehefa na ya omuhu sa niama no efi. Ehefa na omu tape sa information no efi. In fact, omu adwene no chamber ben ene ya ebie ema omu claim se omu ehu bibi ewom. Obi a wanum bibi no hu bibi ne wo ba no wo fie no no mo hwe. But onu nso hu bibi no nso no ye wo montam eyeden. There is a strict limit that society and institutions have placed on how normal people should behave and think. Ewiase we na yete no mo kire se we ye normal, we ye abnormal. We wo bipolar, we ye saying aya eyeden. They want to turn all of us into sleepers. So when somebody behave differently, they will find a name for that person. And sad name no so munya the tools so na to adwene ni mu like I said, nipa we wu nji ni din so but owonkwa chese nkwa wo ni mu a eji ni din so na nkwa so na process bibia nti omo bubo obo se din ni ma wa bibisa se nsunsanso ben na ye eba wo so. As a child, you must cry for ice cream. And no chese we normal. You must like fancy things. A girl and our girls should love Barbie dolls and wear pink dresses. Love cars, football, money, and fit into a particular aura. Who made it so? One a yes and we. So being tisa pet a problem. Who baby no when soon pa nature sakwala no we won bebono. Adentia. Why na chiche samrano? My question for today is, can a messiah or a high energy child be born in today's society and be accepted as a normal child after exhibiting characteristics like speaking to animals? If your child communicates telepathically, how would you feel? Say ya wunyankopon bi aba. Now aba no when reduce to how you want every being to reduce to. When reduce one could do a honomo, na or one abilities no one who na on kasa monko or shedem na or draw niama near dear. How would you feel? Uba ni speech impo edile kakrebia. How do you feel? Mope say ye na ye yepe. Is that it? Does it work like that? say ye celebration ye kasa about awakening. Na mo a mo nante kose mo kofre mo ancestors no so mo ancestors ne ba. No mo nso beye dia wo ye na ede no mo betumi aya ama wo. Eye question. Mo pese mo dane ye nyina to say mad fish. Ye nyina ye kwa ye tutua ye to saa na ye nyina ya koto afidie nim. Is that what you want us to do? Ye nyina ye nye sleepers. Okay, not speaking to people but oni mwa kasa. Hearing voices in his head, speaking to invisible people, and avoid football, ice cream, video games, movies, and still be called a normal child. So uba nye niyama mofre nyine ewo wiase ya paucho. Ube huni say a normal child, and now be huni say, who do you call abnormal child? Who do you call a disabled child? Who do you call a special child? What are the behaviors and what are the categories? Please write them in the comment section for me. Because ebanisa school kura be saki om. Cause odru waduma why aggressive. Oh nsuya de oh maybe no nsuya. No jina table so no jumping no yes titiri omo mo abrochiri no. Ombe pamo musisi a amomako. So oba no wo no na onye de obi ye no oye niama ni niama ye different na me pa uche wo. What will be the diagnosis of a child who behaves like that? Won't such a child be given special treatment and be labeled with some abnormality? Sabofrani nye se nieme ya mi ken na. Adie we wo hu. Eye nipa nka ho asem a eye me yasa. Inti na meka kira wo say mimi ni obroni ni asem but obibini de mintumi nte na se da. Who is a normal child and who is abnormal child? Why? Insonsuno ya wo nipa we mu yenu omo ntam ye den. Hwe se wante sa niama we ase a wo bebre. Abrofo no ye ntumi fi ye ho toto omo ho because omunyansa ne omo spirituality no a pass time ewu. Do you know why wo bana sebe wo friend special child na wo friend no autistic and unim the enti aban tua wo ka na obeto ka ama. Do you know why? Unim the enti a omu school no eye so special aban bo ho ka ba bi omu di omu kogu no aban kra pese omu mfa sa ankola no enti na fie no onsan tua ne ka na se ne papa kra ondane ne weka no enti na fie no onsan tua ne ka no hwa abofra no cause omu de ne ko ba bi a school no wo na eho no omu ka bedoso ye kurom ha yeti sa ankola no ye omoden ye ni national farm for prisoners eho mom ni ye di sika ne ko yeti ha ye kasa about liberation and freedom aguro bi ni ye di because bibia ya hoden wo so no wo this 3D place death realm bibia wu pro ade bi ewu wo ahoden wa ha no eno da no me ka kire obi me sesa wo bibi na wo pese say ya fatu social media no so. Educate the public. Keep your life aside what you are doing. If you want your life to be peaceful. Because adie bia wudi be show we asibia no dia ma death rem ebewu ebese. Obroni nim sa adie we say abofra no wo already or feel dimension wo be communicate ama omo. Obibini wo ne ba na eti so obesu a oji sika ni na echi no na osan susu. And command them in woody in person will be a wasonauti in ye mame wahase. Are we sure that maybe all the children we are injecting and giving medications to just so they will join us to love cars and football, speak like we do, and shut the voices in their head are not high vibrational children? Omo the abortion breye oh ni assume these people no omo wo kwanya omo fast well reducing into nothing. Inti ancestors na everybody nyina oh no ma dwe ne pane oh no ma dwe no na akola no ma dane something which is the parent na nkasa wo ankasa mpo. What knowledge do you have about these people? Omo de eduro ni ma wo mpo a wo be fia wo betumi adwen knowledge be na wo ho pacho obi enfa pressure mba me so mo ayeye mo ma ne de ma mo so mo hu they are all back to robbing bibia off. You just have to align their auras and their chakras. Mo bia me ma me pressure na manyin sese. Me pese menya wrinkles na abro me so. Ti mo bia me ma me pressure at my own time. For what time I will have time. If you don't have time, me na fe wo be wiase a Who me da, uni baby, I'm to have a bomb sobo. And I'm here na one fan, I'm a friend, no, now me friend, no, one you say, no one you say, I'm not your friend. We are all doing show. I'm helping you, you are helping the show. We are all going. Please, what time we will deal with this nicely. Remember, mommy, blood pressure. This ramopa, a binomo, any abotre, means with the abotre and BBA, Timpam, more ye man, someone who difference. A ya yenny na you. Who may ensure dear kakra. Nay engine to say, Ahana ye one, we don't end here. We proceed to other places. Now, Maame no papa who ye na wo friend no ni baby o na wo friend. Muma yen dwen sa niama we obroni adwen sa niama we ho nti sa nkwala no be invest wo mu because we hu some ye dimensional beings. Ye de ne de ye nim nti ye mpo de ye be ha ye ho akọ na o ma dwuradwura wo sa niama we wo kire nipa wo ba na wo no to ho na wotumi hwe na hu se 1 2 3 4 5 6 wokwa osimpam chopa ne nsia de no mu de mu nche meba ne de enimu miensa na mo ma ne miensa obi betumi agensia ne nyina ahwensi obi so ye enimu mofrem pa aye wo bebe se wote ase se this awakening era no ascended masters ni bebrebe amu ye dede no ene amu ku ndwan hye omo nsoma amu no bebrebe sa omo achi e banti na brofo no mani abere ko sa no wo ye the least mistake no ma eliminating so omo ntumi ama wo maame ne wo papa anhye condom enyi wa ntu angu a na so maame ankwa ankonom aduru a etwa awo so a na so o maame no papa ankwa ankofiri baabi a yefu na nya boso no nson kro mo beyi ama wo na ye wu wi a no mo de wakofa saa area ho no mo no no ma ma so edi no ma tamdi na to so se ho no so amfa na ewunyi na aba na start se wo kan o mo program wo fie ni ade wo breaki fort na wo bedu baabi a ma bedu ya afi no mo peweku no mo soma nkrofo ahodo ni sika se ami fancy ana mento waso we episode we hia me pa anti me pese me ye emotional na me ma mani da ho na me de aka asem ni nyina ama ye nyina ya te ase pepepepepepe adenti na wunji ntum sa akola na no ye sa no o te se wo bosomfo na wo komfo na akomasi ni so no you don't want to believe this but wo sofo de o start se o dane o tietiem no de na pempem wo na otwa ne ho a ono de obebo nsem ama no anointing afa no yen dwene ho nkwa akire ni yen hwe. Are we treating ourselves to be asleep like us? Said ye maame no mo de dae. No mo ma ye de dae no ne so ye ma no so ye so ye mo ma de da. Said ye ade de ya. Sometimes I look at humans and I don't know what we want. This could be the greatest thing that holds back every single human being because ye person na ye de da. We are trapped in a human body that lost the pleasures of three-dimensional things, but will never give us that good alignment with our spirit. Enti se obi epie na ne body ni way no eye lower na ne ho no wosoro a yen po yen accept nipa no so oye pepepe obroni enimade we nti obetua abofra ne ka because onim se abofra ne ye dimensional being anadwo omo koda wo 3D ha no ma omo no mo nso ye niama ema e manifest wo 3D ha obibini nim ho hwe o feed prisoners nkola we no no oni sika bi atua ma omo obroni betua okunani ni single parent aha lawu enfiye ho we are here na freedom any why until we get back to these things agro bi kra na yedi se obi ba ha na ne body na reduce obi ba ha na when reduce ne ho to the level or be flat na eni aha niama na nhye da nye we pe onipa na abnormal baby aye wonie. So if a child comes with a three-dimensional consciousness, must we treat and inject them until they also start loving 3D things? Yen rub you off. Yen no, ye reduce and rub yen off. Everything zero. And I feel ye try to gain the consciousness. What will ba? Automatically no, only the end of faith dimension. I say yen reducing in zero. Because obroni behwe we hu say wunni hu nim de upesika nti no obe djura no na fe wadu din na to no so na ekra na som it ends there. This could also be the reason why everybody is depressed. No matter what they have achieved or done, di obia wo bia no ope bibi foforo waye depressed and no ope we ewiase we bibi ani ma me nipa obi ani ho obeka se wapesika wasase so nya bi awie da unya we ya na wo san ape we uwie we ya na wo san ape we obre ene amanehunu ena akola we aba ode ne fifth dimensional energies aba nti no hwe mu se to hu mu se concert yen so ye hu ni se ayete se bodani sebe ogina bola so na odidi wo hu ni se wabodam wo so te car no mo no so hu se wabodam. This is the case. Nipa bebre aye depressed we asinim. It could be that the answer to why everybody is empty and feel so far away from themselves is that we have been convinced that these third dimensional things will grant us the divine joy that we seek. And tisa, we na creation afọ na eya omo ka say men pre niama bebre. This is what they are just saying. Nti ye kwa sorry na ye kwa mosque ni nyina ye twen reward. Asori ye kwa ye ko bompa ye benya heaven ye benya car ye benya visa ye benya say ye be say mosque so ye kwa obi kura ye boni no owu a ye tu borehole wa ha onipa no obenya heaven kwan akọ wo ba bi adwen na kodu nipa ye mobo papa na ka onipa benya abotre na ka wa to ne bo asua de a obeti wiase ase na brabo be easy ama no ba we de gidi ne ayepe na ne yepe any competition ahodo. Everybody wants a child who does well in maths. And I'm a baby on Siadio, and I'm a baby on Yadia or class. A child who works hard and is money conscious. Obia eba or ye jumadeno or peso nye sika dachi. And no, any ye waha say ye bepe, ye. But eno any ye bibia swana. Ye mpo ye ndom in that condition. Ne ya mo kwan se omundo mo ho. Eya na areho. It makes us feel comfortable when we are told by teachers that our children are active in class. Eno na eye, oba na ye money conscious. Mbe de nani da ho nani ati o. Hey, obe de onimade pa o. Odi first. Enti eno sa na ye pese yete. 3D stuff. Eniama mfe nipa nkosi hwe. Nti sanka ye nkọ class ni ensua de anka ye ntumi mbobra na mebisa o. Eye question. Me nka asem obi anko school. What makes the quiet child who seems to be speaking to himself abnormal? Paucho, but modi atro no comment section o mam why? At the point ma we feel say because akwala na impekasa enti no ya abnormal no paucho tro comment section o mam ni ehwe de ebe why? The joy we anticipate when we get money, cars and houses, does it give the same serenity in our consciousness when we attain them? Nobody believes that those things won't give us serenity and a true state of peace. Okachiro bi say niama ye nyane ye wo nyina nya no na mani pass mudwe a onje ntumu da because onyanya ebinti. Na se niama ye nyina na mani pass mudwe a sabe ka yarefo ana bodani eni sikani fie. Enye sa niama no ena ema asumdwe. In fact, many people watching this show today are actually here to find a spiritual answer to get more wealth, get a contract, a job, new cars, marriage, visas, and in anticipation that those are the fruit of true consciousness. Because consciousness no kura mposo adane beans. Wenti na ya na mi hu ni amenka na mabedane otamfo so. Because I don't know what's going on. Spirituality na nkasa adane minim. What would you tell a child who tells the parent that, Mama and Daddy, I don't want money and cars? I'm sure many parents will not be happy with such a child. Ato umpesika umpeda umpeka ewurade e de emba na ma wuni to be kwa asori mo ma ye fasting abompa ye guso. Because to them, they want their children to be rich and even richer than them in the future. Because by that, their children will be fulfilled and happy. Ebinumu adwene no no. Nti ebinumu kura wo sika na abro so no. Omo ba kura ekoware a, omo pese omo mani po nware obi a oni bi to balance there be. Ese omo wari obi onu so wo sika ete se omo. If a Buddhist monk tells you that you can feel joy, peace, abundance, and even true soul fulfillment when you have no money, no friends, and nobody around you, would you believe? Eniama ye pre no, enye no an sande pressure ba yeso. Pressure bebrebe. Gardener, wo be frɛ na oba, na oba wia wo mower, na oba wia wo generator, na de kɔ, na we hu ne fabra wo se me mefa mi ke wa befa. Oba mo wo garden ni wie na okɔ no wafa. Kyese o ha wo nkoten. Ebi a wote a wadua wo plant papa no. Ɛhɔ no mu na obi su benye ye odwan. Estate mu o. Ukoka waka cho se woni odwan nka se wiase we kura po ye gide en. Ene oha wo bebrebe ni obre bebrebe. Eniama ye wo. Ebi ewo sika maburu su gu wardrobe mo da o munda. Nti ne kura ne sen. Sika ntumi mfa da. Sleep keke. Entu ni pa ani so. Ne kura pa ne sen. Ayete ya ye bere sei. Chisi ya ka kiro se wonni hwe bebrebe. Na wonni adamfo na wonni obia na wote oba bia wasom bedwo wa obeje edi obeje atum. If an enlightened soul comes into this world with its keys to higher consciousness, can he survive? So be ba raw. Say ye prese ye be raise your consciousness nti nyame ye wadom na de awo ye ni nyina afi wo ye na abofra no de higher consciousness aba nti aha no mu niama no untumi imbalance a. How would you feel? Abofra no be man survive ya and ye be dwira ne mpane a kosi se nani so beda no. When Africans give birth to high soul children, they say they are children with special needs. But in certain Abrofu society, they give birth to these high energy children and call them star seeds. You see your life. Because oye nisa ni ebeji sika. This Abrofu they are using spirituality in a highest form to save themselves. To save themselves. What are we using spirituality to do here? Mobo. Sometimes baby the New Age spiritual community believes that children like that may come from other alien civilizations or are extraterrestrial beings in the form of human beings. We don't even want to believe that high dimensional beings because that is how these people are programming us. We used to have these gifted children in our society until Abrofo started giving them empanye and special treatment at birth to make them lose their high sense and fit into the 3D world. That is why they will pay you. Today, African spirituality is more business than consciousness. Yeton. All the hate I'm going through. Because of these things I talk about. Because of spirituality and consciousness. One person will behave like a mad person. Somebody can reduce himself to disgrace in the bush on social media. They don't care. Now, let's look at disorder or divine gift. Disorder or divine gift. I know by now, someone will be wondering how they can reverse back to their original higher dimensional gift. Obi Jane said they are obeying higher vibrations in the back. Or even how to protect children who are gifted like star seeds. Obi Jane. If you feel that when you were a child, you had some special ability and you lost it, and now your mind is fixed in the 3D world, and you want a way to rekindle your higher aura, please know that you've been saved from what the world calls insanity. Some people will stand on the pulpit and do all these things and we will give them fans. But mentally, they are not stable. Having those gifts is equivalent to being psychologically unstable. Minia. Sesa na uhu ubano. Inti nka wo de na anyira na ewo ho a. Se nka wo nso ye beka kire wo se wabodam. Ana meboa. Sanka wodi ko gina asode dem de anko mbebo mpa ama wodi ya akom na bibi esi wusu de ombebata se naturally no se wo ho anko mo beka tro se be kafra fa cheme wo adwen mu yade eno na wo pe. I am not saying that people who are suffering from mental health problems are all higher souls. That's not what I'm even saying. And I mean can so say yare so nye den eni wo meka na hyase no. Neither am I saying go and drink some unknown concoction to drive you into endless hallucinations. No. Meaning the value of the brain. Inti me mfa ndi agro. A lot are hallucinating in the name of spirituality, creating a whole lot of mess and issues for people in the name of spirituality. Work on yourself. Find your own self. Stop using words you don't understand. I am speaking about the gift of seeing in multi-dimensional realities. Papa. The special ability of a bicameral mind where one brain gives clear and audible instructions to your left brain to act. This is the deal. We just touch base with the bicameral mind. Then ye nimse ye nya instructions are every divine ho eba. Obia dream. Third eye, baby a third eye. A was source. And what is the source? We and I repair. The bicameral mind is what we touch base with. Now you align the water. We don't rob you of anything. Share your one crofo baby why near more muhu or menisuno. Or mokwa ya bomb pie mana or huni adi any bium. Or bebana adi any dinechi. Ukwa and ya blindfold you into adi any duechi na woo. A year will say a co. Umi ento ye bo ni nsnya de yen ye betumi aboa ye ho. Obi eni ho betumi aboa ye. Se yeti we ase a ebeboa ye papa. The whole issue na ekoso ni na ye the bicameral mind. Aya ye smart wo group ni mu. Se on kan asem we yes awo group ni month awo group ni ma onim. De omo ye ne se meka wi a na omo afa na omo aye we na nsenya meka psychedelics mushroom ade eduru groups mu adani a whole lot of issues. This bicameral thing here meka ye anyway obi enkada inti me mo na mo de koda mo na mo de ba me pese obi abedi di matam so nti so aya na me pese me boa so ti wo kọ onkan ya na meka wie no oka na wadwane wase ne hu ebi wo ho no mo so mo twen ya 3 weeks 1 month be hu na edem. This is why they prevent you from watching the show. Then so omo asem ne ye omo de ya no omo beti because uko marketer e hoso enkrofo ahye dwane dooso ba nipa ekodwom no de obi aye ne de ne no kọ hu ekokoto. So is the bicameral mind no and the be command na wo behu. People are so clouded by the 3D so much that common lucid dreams they can't even imagine. Na de no so dai no wasori anapa wa fa ne bag na moko hwe obi amana kire ne dai na se da be na wo bedu nkrofo eko internet no so no mo google nkrofo experiences no mo atom nka internet so de wo fa knowledge a wo de che ba wo na wo pe ne wakọ join ni na mo google internet so ade no mo atom ama wo se wo nhwe nso ade ya na wo hwe na wo di dwagwanu we ya asem asa wo ye say na se obi experience ye google ne ye ton ma na enu achi na wo di a how do you grow? My experience is different from your experience. The reason tia me say and some make na fa they resonating with you. Na fa bo wo bra na fa ko wanim. Emo bi enhye wo so mfa bibi enhye. Stop letting people convince you that your gifts are disabilities. Stop it. And then when you lose them, you will now be chasing dangerous drugs that may be harmful to your mind. Ade ba ko a ema wo ye nipa chen aboa osemdi kodi agro ase no obese odane aboa. No, you don't need to do that. To me go abusuafo ani masesa. The point of this editorial is that what you may call a disability for your child may not be a disability but a three-dimensional nature of the child. Enye de wuhunu wo maame ni suade. Se we reduce wo ho a wo maame na ma ye reduce wo suade na wo so wen reduce wo ba na wanse no. Se wunya ate we ya se niam na omo so ama mo se mo fa ma omo no mo besusu na emom no mo de omo ato vegetables so mo de omo ato supplement so na ma hwe omo aduane yie ne mo yesi kire ne saa nsonso no ni ama ne esam ni ama ne highly processed oils na firi na hwe ne ora ene ne chakras ne balance a wo ba onyame ba wo onyame ba ye mpese ye beye se niama we nyina ena ye nenam na nde sen ochina sen abusunya asafe wate ase nti no se wunima you are able to differentiate these things ena me kan say ye yama ebinum but me sramo me mpa pressure so me mpa say me I love people but me do me so me ho kakra nti me nya ready say mewu nti me sramo uni abotra wo de me de me pese me ye we nya de ameje ohwe na me ya ma ho me ma guidelines no na wo ko but member ma me blood pressure mesre wo ho awurade din but wo mesre wo Yesu din. Now let's look at consciousness disorder. These children can hear voices because they can hear the fifth dimension. Stop letting people talk you out of your gift. Ebimu to me kasa kire omo ho na omo ye niama na maame na nkasa awerehwo hye ne so se ne ba na anye normal wa hade yi bi nti on to me do abofra ne ho enough no wado o de sa odo na ma abofra no o hwe ne de se wo do no ho na wo do abofra ne condition na abofra no so do ne ho a eno na wo be experience the power wo ba ne kita we nyina ye guide e before kra de ye nwensa na ye mfa ye humpo ne ye adwen humpo ne ye structures mpo e de ama we don't understand. You need to be grounded in your gift so they don't make you lose them. We na esa wo ye na wo de ma abofra no ehu hia papa. And if you don't take your children's divine ability into nurturing them, so one just ade we ya me ka tro say body no eye channel bibia to me fem nti abofra ne de bibi kese esenya aba no enye wo nko na wahu what you say enye wo nko na wahu ba bi a ono wo wo soro na wunduru ho no so ebi mu ho mo ahu nti se wo wade na wunim nia wo de be ya obi to me hwim firi wunsam. And if you don't take your children's divine ability into nurturing them, that's when they are usually diagnosed with things like ADHD and autism. So when mo won paya mo mame because oh ye na na de nesi wo chen ni a kire o me ma ne we ndi menye ni sei ebinum ho mo ma na me ka kire o mo se me mfa ne nkosku age wanya 1 year pa ye ma no na hwe. Child depression and things like that when to me anhwe wo ba na na se niama we nyina mo be frefre no mo fre to no so amaka kire se kra na gidin so enye body ebi de ye so high ti obeye so aggressive no jumpy fit no ko school ni e pam no otumi di ni ti boade obi kra window crop so ofam kotofom e den na wo ye about this ebi won how bo mo time bebrebe come back to school we don't mention these things but omo emotion no mo ni to omo bo align ne kama but obibi no mo agiro mo no mo di way man no mo di way man no they try to change the child or say no kura meanwhile no odi platforms ahodo achi so hwehwe consciousness ebi woni fie so a or say no the understanding is not there. There are so many things you can do to help them, but these are divinely gifted children. They have hyper awareness that is causing them not to focus in class or learn a craft like the normal 3D child, because your children are seeing and feeling too many things at one time. When we say, Sadia we won, ya wonkophobia, they can multitask. So, I want to mean ya dear me at the same time. Do you know who you are? What is that? Wouldn't matter. All these diseases and mental disorders found in children are gifts that were not handled well. This results in consciousness disorder. Oh, so when we want to do the reason my focus is on children, my focus is more on children because ye benya ancestors are betumi redeem land na omo na ye omusenu. Omo na ye omusenu. A consciousness becomes a disorder like bipolar or autism. When a high soul comes to the 3D world with a 5th dimensional senses, that weren't handled well, one kasa obehu nua ma ebesi ebe bad. Na maame na wawo na nkasa onim hwe. I can't mention names here because ebe too like nkwala ya de na no, we are not doing that. But a lot are going through this, and people that some parents be more relief, a lot of them. Me paucho susu na se womba no na ye wa he ya na ye me ye wan some days ago time Maame Gracie stake na ye na obi bisa say when utumi geni consciousness a ubetumi aboa wo ancestors a omo antumi ansende na ubetumi aboa sa ansa na me ma say hu ye wo hana wo wono wabrabo a wo bo no wo nananom omo kompo depend wo so no omo ba so depend wo so wo nko a ubetumi asay a whole generation ni ascension wo nipa ba ko wo bra wo bo. That is why you don't have to joke with knowledge at all. This is what I'm saying. Wo share time with Maame Grace why you discuss the disorderly gift. Mama mu nyina akwa aba kokonsa for mo amuhwe ni fake account mu nyina eba mo akwa aba mo amuso mo nhwe na nso mo hwe ni nyina ema mo akwa aba mo amuso mo feel say mo hwe a mo de mbetwa mo nchiro comment o comment na ntu ya be wo mu anya ma wo firi muso entosin like you were nobody ntu to hwe la nchiro comment ebi kasa o meti asem bia ye mesere sa na me se onipa e mobo a ono anonim. A gift can feel like a curse if not handled and accepted well. For the parent ni bebrebe akeke ha omumba. Parent ni bebrebe ayika ha omumba. Ye metro obi din na me ba be ma na answer bi me re Philippa. Ada me kai me din be ba na mabeye. The child must be isolated and kept away. That's because they are not grounded within themselves. Inti omo aye start sa de we na me se makola ni jai school kakra no afi we hu ni enti oja ye no tu wie ye no okọ back se we hu se de wa ye sesei. For example, for a bipolar, you are talking about someone who is experiencing split aura. Ye nim we nyina wo mo fadin kese na ma na ye hwe nipa no na o sei within their vessels. This is what you people call bipolar. That person is experiencing what? A split aura within their vessels. Almost like being double-minded or double-spirited. Entino na ya tam edinya to so na ye say ye ntumi nya ho hwe. Abotre ni ho ma ye kura. They usually have immense creativity within because they were able to exist within multiple diverging frequencies at once. Intinka bipolar. Enya dia ye kasiri nipa na yegu nipa anim ase ewo ho. Because mostly na some make no mo bia calculating wrongly. Obi onim ade pa no. So to me man ho time or to me go through that thing. Sa so no bi onim ade no so kofa drugs e de ka no ho a. This thing no so to me bie. Na dem nti we nyina no say ye school ni bia, it's a school with a hospital. We be hu say ye naturally ye align ni amanfo. To me sa de na ye ne de nya kura so obi a problem mu ni egu nipa na ni mase. Bipolar is not sickness. Maame kan say because okay, some see it as sickness. As a spiritual visionary, I have another way of seeing it. My mind maka chomsa menye doctor menye psychologist timpam choma mo fa menko inti senka yesi obi exist within multiple diverging frequencies at one time. That person is very powerful. Obroni e de ne beto ba bia yusu na ye niama bebre obibini de ne beto social media so asere. Everything is a mockery to us. Obi ahwe ase eno ne ye didi agora ye neji medwin obibini ho amentenase. And if the body is not grounded to take it, then it becomes a sickness on the mind and the body. That is what you people call bipolar. Because it lacks alignment and balancing. Small thing. As I said, this is not medical, but spiritual and consciousness. Me doctor. I'm a spiritual visionary. When you are not grounded in self-love, you will look crazy to people because you are receiving multiple contradictory downloads in a single vessel at one time. Adie to me balance the papa your love. You don't make sense to people and your vessel is unstoppable because are you possessed and are you open. Most of our spiritual people are going through this. They don't know how to put this together and they are not humble enough to ask for help. Inti bibi okeka bubom ende oka say ochino oka say ochino say wo hwe na ho fasuo ni ni su atimu so owo problem onya abotre because e yen say wadu from church. Some of these pastors, some when they are talking now hwe ni dimi na ni de wo tete you could see say so onum bibi pa dia there's something wrong. And so omo bomb semuma nti e yen say wadu. You must be treated by a medical professional say get it to that level. When a child is more well grounded by the parents and is well rooted in a high energy environment and in a high spiritual environment, their body welcomes their higher nature. Seek for help. Because there are a lot of opportunities in all these places are places that can align the child. And I found after me can't pay more what else. Even if you project and you don't land well, trouble for you. Minim soft will be. In fact, I'm from the bishop. Or Kasua Quines Maka. Now, oh yes, idea will be no one landed well, no nya stroke. Nan ni half ni nanu nyinara. No more than a bar me one near man and who torn and senya me who was started practicing or no say or somebody down for or bet to me after dear ben. Senya your year in one coming for me and can I say, Dre ya who told we. What side the idea ye dear grobium? Me wa how ba, Mema will return. They become balanced and they can beam their energies effectively. Na kolani demuno na mumu inkwalani owoni anoma separate no like money time. With this, you are able to project your gift to be used for your benefit and that of mankind. Mamu ma yen say opportunities no. The way I hunu no ye pese oba ya na nkoye normal but owa no says it doesn't work like that. Let's learn. It comes from within. Children must love themselves and not feel like they are not accepted. Because ono aye different kakra. Mema wo man feel say omo ye burden wo so. And enya wo anka me kra ma ye say and me koton me say na me tua school fees and I wunti na ma ye say and me wo na me ye say wo fu say wo kana wa fans. I said then mema wo ba no feel say or ye burden on you. Na usugu ne so na usushe nanim na ode wani bra kono so na wo bu no enye good. Instead, protect their gift. Hu omo se omo ye achede se dia kola ne tie bia hu ni se oye achede na hwehwe na kwan na bibia wo na kwan e wo honom. Bibia wo wiase bia e wo na kwan e wo ho. Fi se wiase wo emu no bibia wo na kwan e ye den e wo ho. They may not conform with the average 3D frequency. Omuntumi ne hade ne nyepe batankenu na ye no na wo hwehwe obi di abaso a e problem a. But that is their nature and they must be made to know that and love themselves from within. Akola ni me mo hu so o problem. It is time to raise higher beings. Sambre na edu nti wo maame na wo maame ase wo dada no wo siade na wo abofra na wo hu ade ode aba na wetumi raise. That is what everybody needs one in the house. That is why everybody need one of such in their homes. So what to me share ubani ya. Susu measure ubani say because wanye say wan konto kwa anye football bi born na sumu wan boni binti. Debi enye ye nyina na yaba for mabedu baby a ya bedri. Nenye ye nyina so e na ye program ye. Pacho bebrebe. What do you know about yourself? Tell me. And what do you see that child of your obana wa wono no hu ne sen? E die na hu wono mu a u feel say na wo hwe me u beguru me. wo a wo ba no nso so eye wo say wo ma ne special name ne what de keka ka ho no ade na ofu so obetumi aye de abo akola no ade we ade da makoma so ye betoa saa enkomo yi so dakuru bi na ye nhwe the way a we no ye betumi afa no na ya som so that we can go deeper about this na se twatesefo na anje angumu a na afa ye kire ekwan a do be fa so no nkakra me ye menu chat ne ade ma ebinum but enye pressure wo mpamocho me mpa blood pressure me srem mpamocho wo yesu dim ainti ha ene nda me di mo ebesi bo se nenam kasa na ye boko asama me ka ne hia me yiye ba we de ma poncho ho kakra bi ye beko deeper about this. Shalom, peace.